do you believe in fairies? Well, there's no shortage of them on our screens, from Tinkerbell to the fairy godmother. Most of us think they're only found in fiction.
But for Karen Kay, Rebecca Broomfield and Jessie Smart, seeing fairies is a regular occurrence. And the ladies join us now to explain. Good morning to all of you.
Hello.
How are you?
Karen is actually part fairy, but we'll come to that in a moment. How did you all meet?
Through my fairy events, the Fairy Festival, Three Wishes Fairy Festival, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you all had a similar belief, or have you come to this at different times?
It's a little bit different for me, I guess. I came through my son being very ill in hospital. He had a rare form of cancer, and he had a real affiliation with fairies. He absolutely just adored them. And when he was kind of getting better, we were looking to go away for a little break, myself and my husband, and we stumbled across Karen's event in Glastonbury, and we went there and we've never looked back since.
And you've never looked back. So, I mean, I've got an idea in my head of what fairies look like. I can imagine a little fairy. What do your fairies look like? How do they manifest themselves?
All different sizes and shapes.
So not just little things?
No. One day I saw a fairy that was as big as a tree, and it blew my mind because I thought, like yourself, that they were tiny little beings and, you know, a stereotypical image of them.
What did it look like?
It looked like a giant flower fairy, but it was stood next to a tree. And I was driving.
As big as a tree?
I was driving on the A30. I saw some knees out the corner of my eye. I looked up, and it was standing by a tree.
Is this a little scary?
No, it wasn't a scary fairy. It didn't scare me. It just shocked me a little bit.
Are there scary ones?
Yes, there are, but we don't work with the scary ones.
So when you say you don't work with them, so what is a fairy's purpose in life? Why do we have fairies around?
They're guardians of nature. And they're here and they're coming forward now because they want people to be aware of nature, because humanity is kind of wrecking it a little bit with fracking and all the rest of it, chopping down trees. And like a guardian angel, they aren't angels, but they're not angels. They're nature spirits that look after the earth. Primarily, that's their role.
Well, Jessie, you've got proof. I mean, that's what we all asked for. We all asked for. All right, OK, it's a lovely, and I don't think anyone could deny that it is a lovely thought.
It's a lovely thought. It's the best
hold
thought
on
ever.
a minute. Prove it to me. We've got some footage actually. So just talk us through this and explain what we're seeing.
So you can see on the bottom of the screen there, the little sort of flickering green thing right at the beginning. It's gone now. That was my husband and I were on a walk out in I think it's Lynmouth, out on Exmoor.
There, I can see it.
Right at the beginning, and it was a very cold day, and as we were walking, both of us commented on two things. One of us, I said, "This is like a magical fairy forest," and then we both noticed there was absolutely no animals awake, no insects, nothing fluttering around. I mean, it was just completely still. And you know, I took the video because it was a beautiful place, and then I watched it back, and you see this little fluttering thing.
Could it have been a moth?
It could have been a moth, but it could have been a fairy.
I mean, it's nicer to think that it was a fairy, that's for sure.
Well, fairies can disguise themselves as insects and birds because they're very close.
Yeah, right, OK. That's convenient, though, isn't it?
Very convenient, yeah, because they're in harmony with nature.
So why do they only show... Because I'd love to see a fairy. Like, I really want to see a fairy. Why can I not see a fairy and you guys do?
Well, because it's just anybody can see one if they want to show themselves to you. So it's about being respectful, being in a place maybe outside in nature or indoors by a plant pot, and being receptive and just saying in your mind or in your heart, you know, fairies, show yourselves to me. And if they want to, they will. They can't be bossed around, but they will kind of check you out. Does this lady like nature? And they'll tune into you. But if you really want to in your heart, then they will give you a sign, not necessarily full-blown.
How have they shown themselves to you, Rebecca?
I tend to see them through meditation. So I practice yoga, and I teach yoga particularly to children, and I tend to connect to them through meditation.
For you, I mean, from being a tiny baby, I think, was it you that your parents had seen them around your cot?
Yes, yeah. I don't, except for that video, I don't actually see them myself. It's more of a sense. But when I was a tiny baby in my cot, my mum came in to check on me, and she freaked out because I was laying there just completely frozen. And she just stood there watching, and then suddenly she started seeing these blue lights kind of flashing around me. And she's not a woo-woo person at all. She's very practical, quite pragmatic. And she flipped the lights on and off, trying to see if there was light coming in from outside. She couldn't work it out. And as the lights were flashing, I kind of apparently just relaxed and looked at her like, yeah, and what? And even my dad came in, and he's very not woo-woo, very straight-laced, and just kind of froze And my mum said, do you see that? And he said, the lights flashing around the baby? And she said, yeah. And he goes, yes. Walked out the door, never spoke of it again.
Really?
Really?
And they can
Wow.
be, you know, sort of mischievous. They can be
Yes.
trouble. You don't want them in your computer.
You don't want them in your computer and you don't really want them in your house. So I would say to everybody, don't put fairy doors in your house. I know there might be a few around because it's a doorway
Well,
from their realm
But what
into
do they
our
do
realm.
when they come in?
Oh, they can hide things. They can put glitter on you, or they can do.
You hate that.
I have a problem with that. What do they do with your computer?
They've been in my computer before, and just the whole thing's crashed but not crashed, and just loads of stars have just appeared. And I did video it, but I didn't send it, but I can. It all just, yeah.
And how do you know it's fairies and not a virus?
I know it's fairies. I know it's fairies. I know the difference. I'm kind of old enough to know the difference between what's in my mind and what's happening and what's in my heart.
And you're a big Madonna fan, and I think
Yeah.
it was you that got tickets, wasn't it? So you got selected to go see her perform her new single.
Exclusive
out of 60,000,
premiere.
80,000 people, I think, you were chosen to go along.
Yeah.
And of all the people you don't know who are fairies and who are not, you say that she is a fairy.
She has fairies with her. She has fairy energy around her, most definitely. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
She believed in fairies?
Does she believe
Did she
it?
believe? Did you
I don't
mention
know.
it? You didn't mention it?
No, I didn't get to talk one-on-one with her, but I can sense it and see it around people. Like, you've got a bit of a little kind of grumpy gnome with you, but not too grumpy. Sorry.
I've got
with
a
respect.
slightly disbelieving.
Yes.
That's what I've
But you
got.
have unicorns, fairies.
Oh, God.
around
Of course
you.
she has.
So-
In her head right now.
I knew it. I always do that.
They're real. They're real.
You've got a book out at the moment, and for anyone who's interested, you've got a festival in gorgeous Cornwall, the 21st to the 23rd of June.
Yeah, Three Wishes Fairy Festival, and my book it's an oracle deck and book, and it's another way that you can connect with fairies in a very gentle, calm, relaxed, happy way, because we're about the happy fairies
No, I
here.
love it. I
That's
love it.
all happy. We need more light, more joy, and celebrating
And
life.
there's nobody
true.
can argue with that.
No.
We all need a bit of that. in
Not
our
even
life.
you.
No, I'm going to take my
that
grumpy
grumpy
gnome over to Martin Lewis in a moment.
laughing now,
Is he laughing? Is he?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.